What's up team? Today we're going to be making a technical for a varsity jacket. Now we've went ahead and already designed the whole thing via Designedbywil Patreon, where I teach you guys how to design something like this start to finish. It's a full tutorial, 45 minutes. Understanding the fundamentals is the basics, and I teach that within that video. So other than that, let's go ahead and make the technical. The first thing we want to do is separate the file, make a new document, and go to print, and then from print you want to go to A3 and then change the orientation. Go ahead and create your document. Once you've created your document, you want to go ahead and start labeling your document. Now, I already got the labeling and everything ready over here because I already had started this yesterday. And let's go ahead and drag it on to this document. If you don't know how to do this, it's just simply going into your type, entering your type, whatever. The brand that we have here today is Found Icon 2023-2024. Next, we're going to go ahead and start putting in the actual material breakdown for the garment. Now, this is a bit different from your classic like sweats where it's just one material or maybe two max. This requires a lot of different materials like, you know, the shell, the sleeve, the lining of the jacket, and also the ribbing of the jacket, and even the padding. Sometimes you have to specify the actual material breakdown. So let's go ahead and make this all smaller like so. And let's go ahead and introduce the brand logo because we have to brand everything. We're going to drag this little branding up here, change the color. Let's go ahead and specify the generic stuff like gender. This is a male jacket. Season 4/winter. And let's go ahead and drop this down in width. In sizing, you know, because it's not the main focus. And let's go ahead and align this using the alignment tool to make it look nice and neat. And that's about it to, I guess, set up your document. You can go ahead and put this on the top, at the bottom, wherever makes you feel comfortable. Let's go ahead and get our jacket. So we're going to be making the technical based on this jacket here. And let's go ahead and drag that in. To make your life easier, group all the objects to the actual garment. And let's go ahead and start with the front of the jacket. Next, we're going to go ahead and do a custom color, like garment color call out. There's a lot of ways you can construct this. I like to do it depending on how big the actual garment is on the piece of paper. If it's a bit larger, I'll make this really thin like this. But as long as you can clearly read the actual colors that you're pointing out, that's about it. For this, the garment colors are fairly simple, just black and white. But if you do want to go and call out the Pantones of the black/white that you're using, you can go ahead and do that. Maybe you're using a very dark gray. So the Pantone color for this is 1take1U, which is, you know, Pantone that I like to use for white. Let's go ahead and call out our Pantones. Pantone P1take1U. Let's go ahead and delete this, and we can duplicate this real quick. Let's go ahead and group it. Go ahead and group the top one as well, and then you can align them. The reason why I do all this is just to make it look a bit neater. We're just gonna go black. We're not gonna call out the Pantone because it's like a dark gray to a solid white. There we go. And then we can title this bottom part garment color. Just go ahead and align that. That's already starting to look professional. Now, the way I do my varsity jacket callouts in terms of the fabrics and the design is a lot more different to how I would do a sort of hoodie. So I do it by individually calling out each of the designs. I just find it easier that way, especially if you're doing like chenille patches and stuff like that, and you have like felt or embroidery mixed with the chenille. It's a lot easier and a lot clearer to read when you do it this way. Let me show you. Let's go ahead and grab the first design, which is going to be this design here. And let's add in a box and send this box to the back. And let's change this into a neutral gray lining or stroke. Let's go ahead and make that red. And now we can call out each individual parts. We got our measurement tape here and our beautiful reference garment, which is a varsity jacket that has the exact same fit that we're going for, and also the exact same collar, ribbing, etc. Now for this, we're gonna make this one 4 inch in width. And for this design, for this one here, we're going to go with an embroidery outline and a chenille inside. And that's going to also apply for these stars here. And up here in the bottom here is going to be embroidery. So we can go ahead and start calling that out using our pen tool. So using the pen tool, go ahead and just make a straight line, make the stroke red, and we can go ahead and enter in here. Because I've been working on a bunch of varsity jackets, I have most of this stuff ready from previous projects. So there's no point of me trying to pretend to redo them if I have them, you know? So we got embroidery for here. And then for the star, let's go with full embroidery. And then for this design, we're gonna go chenille plus embroidery. If you guys don't know what chenille is, it looks like this, and it's on most varsity jackets. It gives it that classic varsity jacket feel. And then for the bottom text here, we're gonna go just embroidery. Now we're gonna do the call outs for the colors. Pantone P 4take5U, and let's go ahead and add a stroke to this and make this significantly smaller. Now we can keep this throughout the whole garment. And then for the stitching, it's going to be Pantone. Just go ahead and align that one. There we go. And we're going to label this as design 1. And now we can call that out on the jacket itself. So I found this the most effective way of doing a varsity jacket, especially with a bunch of designs, calling them out individually like this, or even better, having a specified name for each individual design. The more detailed, the better. I always tell people that when it comes to technicals, but if you do want to save time, you can do it this way, and it is efficient also. But if you have the resources to measure out every single individual design on the garment and get the actual CAD drawings for it, for each individual like logo, etc., go ahead. By all means, go ahead, because that means you will have a detailed garment that's specified exactly to the T that you've made it. Let's go ahead and work on this patch here. 1take1U. And for this design, we're going to go with chenille and embroidery for the full design. And we're going to label this design number 2. And if we can fit one more in here, actually, we might switch this to 5. Yeah. And then we can switch this one to 4. Let's just clean this up a bit. And for this one, we're going to go chenille / embroidery. There we go. Copy this one over. Black. And now we can go ahead and grab a production reference sort of design. Maybe in case we want to display to our manufacturer that the design has to look a certain way. So we got this production reference here from another varsity jacket project. And we can go ahead and drop this in down here. And if you really wanted to and ensure that your design is getting made properly, maybe you want certain parts chenille, certain parts embroidery, the way you can go ahead about doing that is you could call out each individual section like this. You could go up here, for instance, this outline for this design here, you could make that embroidery. And then for this inside here, you could make that chenille for the inside. And then for the white, you can make that embroidery. So this is also a really good way about doing it. This is a bit more detailed way about doing it. You would have to do it for each individual section. But once they understand the design language, like this or often correlates with this and this. So we understand that this part is chenille, this part is embroidery. Now you understand how to call out different areas of the design. So we base it off like the reference that we had here. So you have the black and the outlining in embroidery, and then you got this sort of chenille in these parts here where it doesn't require a lot of detail. And that's how most manufacturers read it. Even if you have it the original way that we had, they read it like that. I've sent a technical with the other version before and they've read it perfectly fine. But in case you want to be more diligent and short, send it out like this because it's a bit more detailed and it has a bit more specification. Once you get the first one complete, it's all about just repeating the same step over and over again for each individual design that you have, whether that's embroidery, a sort of patch of some sort, or maybe a custom range of different fabrics and designs that you input. This is just the way I've done it. For the back piece, you have a lot of designs going on. And the best way about doing a back piece like this is to separate found, the bear with the stars, and then also icon. So you separate those three together and then you make an individual call out for each one of those. Now we're going to make this 14. We're going to make this 12, and then we're going to make this bottom one 9. 14. So we'll just make this a bit smaller because it doesn't have to be this big, just readable. And yep, that's going to make it up for this one. Let's go ahead and copy this. Now for the actual design of the bear, we're going to go with a felt lining or felt backing. And then this one's going to be embroidery for the black. And the rest of it is going to be chenille. Embroidery for small details, or just for details in general. Production reference. You can see the felt backing here, and they have felt right here, and then they have embroidery and then chenille. For this one, we're going to do felt backing. And then for the whole yellow, we're going to do embroidery. Like so. And if you want, you can always grab a reference of what these look like. This is a good representation of like felt backing and then chenille patch. And they would usually have this adhesive or embroidered onto that. Lastly, we just need to add in our actual size chart because we forgot to do that at the beginning. And there we go. And that's how you make a technical for a varsity jacket. Now you can go ahead and make options for the colors, etc., whatever you want. All that's left is to ensure that you export all your designs on a 2000 by 2000 minimum pixel. Actually, let's go ahead and do that for you. After you've added in all your designs on artboards around like this, you can go ahead and make new artboards as you go. You can make as much artboards as you want, but you want to export all your designs as individual files. You're going to go ahead and grab all your design files like so, and then press this little export button, and you can add in your exports. And then from here, you can just go ahead and label all your designs like back design, front, etc. And then you can simply add into your export settings on Illustrator. You can add in different scales and different export options. So for instance, we have a 300 ppi PNG. We can go ahead and add in our PDF, and then we can go ahead and add in an SVJ. So they can go ahead and edit that on an Illustrator platform. For instance, the master file for Illustrator doesn't work. Let's go ahead and create that. And you go ahead and save your designs in the master file. Then you want to go ahead and select all these designs, export, create a new file, export all the designs in their desired platform, export all the designs in each format. And you want to save a Illustrator file, brand name, an icon, Varsity Jacket 2023 to 24. 23. What do we want to call this? Bear. There we go. Press OK. Then go File, Save As, and then save this one as a PDF also. And that's the simplest way to make a varsity jacket technical. Obviously, you can make this a bit more complicated, maybe adding like padding, different patterns for that. Or for instance, you want to go ahead and add in some more stitching options like chain stitch, or you want to do any specialty prints like add in pockets and everything like that. Obviously, that's going to cost a lot more time to do because now you have to make a technical for the pocket size, etc. But essentially, this is how you lay out a technical for a varsity jacket the most efficient way, the way that I do it. Obviously, you can make it a bit more detailed if you want to do that. Maybe you have a bit more stuff that needs detail like buttons. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'll see you guys on the next one, and make sure to go check out the first link in the description if you want to go learn how to design like this for your brand. Peace.